Okay, so the first thing that you should notice that's different in the game is the new game menu, which has been changed to be a scroll list to allow for more settings to be added in the future more easily. And then there's also menus now. So there's a back arrow that takes you back, which you can use the arrow or just press escape. Then there's the iron pill mode, which will disable the cheat console and save as, but enables achievements to be unlocked, which will be useful once it's actually in Steam or some place like that. And then yeah, you can see down here achievements enabled. And there's also tooltips added now, default tooltips, so it makes it easier to display extra information to the user now. Alright, so we're gonna leave that checked. And then there's the number of planets, number of empire fields. I'm just gonna leave those default. Then there's the empire name field, which you can randomize actually to be something random, or you can type in your own if you wanted and it would be there. And then you can choose culture still, like last time. Then there's the flag, and then the flag creation menu has been changed. There's now more symbols, like the Iwo Jima flag. But we're just gonna pick this one for now. And since we're gold, let's just do a goldish color. And these are the new color pickers that allow us to pick our color a lot easier on these menus. See, they're pretty easy, just a function. And then let's go back and generate the galaxy. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is that the flag up here is now a button, which will make it easier to make it open a view later, like a government view, which will be added. And then the production now appears on the resource bar, production icon, and that tells you how much production your planets are having per turn. And then there's the science icon on the resource bar now, which if you click opens up the research view, and it has these tech totems. There's the guerrilla warfare and vehicles, which pertain to the planet view, like techs and weapons you can use. Then there's home improvement, which allows you to improve your empire basically. Then there's the army party menu, which allows you to improve your army. Then there's the honeypotting, which will be diplomacy. And if you click on this button here, the details button, it'll open up a view that allows you to see all the texts that are possible to research from the view. And there's a drop down for text available and text completed. Since we haven't completed it yet, there's nothing here. Then if we go back to the galaxy, the next thing you'll notice is the turn text at the end of the resource bar, which displays what turn you're on. Then there's the in turn button on the bottom right. If we click that, the turn will go up and when our resources get added. And then there is the right side notifications. So here's one here, a warning one that tells us there's no research selected. So if we click on that, it takes us to select a research. So let's do that and go back. And then if we skip ahead a couple turns, I'm going to go to one before we research it. And you can see on the research view, if you go back, that there's bubbles and an indicator. It tells you which one you're researching. And if we research that one, a notification will appear to tell us we researched it. If we click on it, a pop-up should tell us we researched it and what we researched and what it adds. And then if we click on select new tech to research, it'll open up the research view for us to select a new one. And then the next thing that we're going to talk about is the army management menu. And so you can see these ships around my empire that allow me to click on the manage my armies around these planets. So if I click on run right now, it'll open up. I'm just gonna click it multiple times because right now we have a debug feature that allows you to add a new army every time you click on it, but that'll be removed later. And yep, if you click on it, you can edit the army name. So let's just say like army something. There we go. Now our army is named something else. And also we can name our squad, which is a drop down because of the pill voices in the planet view, which I'll get to later in the video. Right? And then once you actually click on the pill, There's these things called pill views now that we have that allow you to move around the pill and check what they look like. And we will later have it, I think, to where you can customize your pills, or at least put custom classes in, which will depend on your research for what you can put in those. Then you can rename the pills as well. And then you can also delete them, like that. So we delete army something. And then we can also remove them to reorganize our armies. Then we can move these back over. Stuff like that. So that's basically the gist of the army management menu. And then since we're on Iron Pill difficulty, the cheat console is no longer openable. So we can't cheat to actually get anything we want in the view. And then also there have been more cheat console commands that have been added to the cheat console. And also the music now is transitionable between views. So between the main menu and the galaxy view, the music will stay the same. And then there's more songs added as well to that.
So important to distinguish here that the planet changes are more impressive and cool than the galaxy or main menu changes in this update. Case in point, WD-40 baby. WD-40, as is the case in real life, is a very functional multi-tool that is any home improvement connoisseur's wet dream. You can use it to repair things. It can be a flamethrower and also a fire extinguisher. This is a well thought strategic combo. You can also stab people with a nozzle, which is very accurate. Also, there are separate fire extinguishers as a standalone, but not flamethrowers. I am very lazy, so there probably will not be separate flamethrowers, but we'll see. Also, there are projectiles now, laser projectiles to be specific. These are a ripoff from Star Wars, but they're very cool because they spin and they are colored based on your Empire's color. There are also explosions, which are very dope and self-explanatory. They, at the moment, are being triggered, I think, by the lasers, if I remember, but that's just for testing. We'll have mini explosions in the end game, rest assured. Also, there is building and glass damage, so I wanted to make it to where when you had explosions and lasers and all these things flying around, basically the city that you're fighting in will look like some kind of like burnt burrito by the time it's done. So this is my attempt at that. I think it would probably look good in the end, particularly if you have a lot of artillery fire, as would be the case in reality. So most building parts can translate and rotate, and glass is a bit special. Glass can shatter as well. Now this is one of my more passionate features I added in. I added pill voices. So pills now have voices to them. There's going to be different voices the pills can have, and I'm thinking that these voices will give the pills different characters. So I plan to keep all the data on the pills saved across playthroughs. So you will get to know all the pills, their voices, their names, their loadouts, all of that, and you might be able to customize it as well. We'll see. And I'm thinking that part of what can give the pills different sort of ethnicities, if you will, between the empires is you can choose what pill voices are applicable to each empire. Also, there is radio communication. Radio communication is different than the pill voices. The pills speak in the 3D space that you're in, but they also are communicating over this radio that you're hooked up to. And the radio is really more supposed to be like a symphony of noise in chaotic color in your ears rather than anything functional. I think I'm going to try and make it deliberately as dysfunctional as possible to make it more interesting. This is actually a bit of an allegory for how our game, I think, will pan out in general. I think people spend too much time trying to make games addicting and something that you have to put effort into to beat. I think what would make our game more interesting and more meaningful is if we make it sort of an experience where you can dick around in the space and do all these stupid things. I don't want it to be a grind that someone throws themselves in at endlessly. I want it to be more of like a world space for you to be in and to do a certain set of stupid, preposterous things in that you don't have to spend a lot of time to get to. Finally, we have a pause menu. In this pause menu, you can see a map of the planet that you're on. And there's also a squad menu, so you can see the breakdown of your squad and some basic attributes for each of the squad members. We also plan on eventually giving a bit of a synopsis so you know what the situation is of what battle you're playing in the third pane of the pause menu. And here you will probably also be able to edit settings in the future, but I think that is still pending progress. Also, I forgot to mention that something that I think was in there before, but I couldn't really show off because I didn't have the kill voices, was the squad commands are now functional. So we have a few different commands you can give. You own a squad, and you can give commands to the squad members. It's rather beautiful, actually. You have a line formation order. You have a square formation order. You have a follow order. You have a spread out and investigate order, and some other stupid stuff that I don't even remember. I think like hold position was another one. So I think I'll gradually add to this over time, but that should be it for the orders part for now. Also, I should mention that many of the important features on the Planet View have not been worked on whatsoever. This includes things like the respawn system of the pills, the vehicle system. I have yet to make aerial vehicles, which I think will be important for how the attackers get on the planet in the first place, one would think. And I'm sure some other important things. Honestly, I'm not even trying to make functional progress in this game anymore. I think it's more interesting to see how much time I can waste. Anyways, that's it for now this time, for sure. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, sorry, one more thing. Fires are in the game. Fires are very dope as well. They can be put out. They can damage things. And, all the other usual shit you'd expect with it. Okay, now I'm done talking.